Hello everyone, meet Jay, my editor, my stand-in, and apparently the main character of his own life. Today he's hijacking this channel to show you his version of productivity, starting with his patented walk of inspiration. Spoiler alert, it's just a walk. No groundbreaking ideas, just pigeons and people dodging him on the sidewalk. To be honest, who knows what else he does on this walk? He seems to just disappear without a trace. But whatever you do, Jay, to get the job done, I support it, as long as it's legal. After his grueling 10-minute stroll, Jay refuels with what he calls the elixir of creativity. I call it overpriced caffeine. And by the time he's done savoring every last drop, it's practically lunchtime. But hey, who needs mornings anyway? Stick around though, because once Jay finally gets to work, he's got something cool to show you. Yes, really. Minimax Hailuo's latest feature, subject reference. Ugh, why do I let him do this? So first and foremost, this is still in beta testing. It will drop very soon though, but I don't have an exact date. Let's go ahead and jump right in, and honestly, it's really simple to use. You just need to go to your create section here, click on that. You'll see your options here: image to video, text to video, and subject reference. Now all you need to do is pick an image that you want to use as your reference image. You can click on this icon to import any image of your choice, and they do recommend a front-facing image. This icon beside it is my characters, and it basically just keeps a history of the images that you've uploaded, and then you would enter your prompt just below. Now you'll notice this model is called S2V-01, so subject to video, I presume. Now if you look to the right on my preview window here, you see that for this generation, this is what the model is referencing. So if I click on it, it just shows the face. Now there are a few things I want to point out. This was one of the reference images that I used. Make note at the expression of the subject. This was one of my first few generations experimenting with this. You'll notice throughout the video that her expression is kind of emotionless, right? And that's the thing I wanted to mention, where it's going to adapt the expression of the image unless you prompt for it. So in this example, I did just that. In the prompt, I put, "She slowly smiles and looks away." Now she doesn't look away, but you see that eventually she'll smile. Sometimes the motion of walking movements can tend to look robotic, so it's also good to put something in the prompt to assist with that as well. So here I put, "Her hips sway gracefully with each step as the camera tracks her forward movement," and you see we have a little bit more of a natural flowing walk, as if she's, walking down the runway, which I quite like. Now, what it doesn't do is consistent clothing or attire unless you prompt for it, and it's fairly basic enough for the model to pick up on. It can also do your own faces from photos. I find this is me without glasses. It does a pretty decent job, but I had to kind of do a hack with like a face swapper, render it digitally and bring it back in. I found that when I did it straight from a photo, it was making my face kind of chunky, a little bit older, and a little overweight. Maybe I'll show an example on the screen here, but if for some reason you're not getting good results using a photo, the best thing to do is to face swap, use Face Fusion or Insight ID or whatever, do the face swap digitally and bring it in. If you have an image and you want to use that particular style in clothing, you're probably better off using the regular image to video feature and use the image to video 01 live model instead. Now this is better used for 2D illustrations, but it can be used for photorealism to some extent. The benefit of using subject reference is that you can get your character in different environments, in different situations, while keeping the same face and character. Now, while it's a great feature and a good step forward, it's not perfect. In this throwaway example here, you see that there's a logo on the sweater, and in some of the other shots that I use, there's no logo. In this shot, you'll see that the likeness of the face kind of steers away from the reference image, more so in this shot. And even in this shot here, you see the face kind of looks a bit more Latino Hispanic, just a little bit. The other thing I tested was trying to put other subjects in that scene. In this case, it was a gray wolf puppy. And although it looks kind of weird and cute, yeah, the movements kind of look weird. The little wolf pup looks kind of out of place. Let me show you another one that looks okay-ish. It kind of blends into the scene a bit more, but the movements are kind of lacking there too. I also tried to give him a girlfriend, and oddly, they kind of look the same, right? So now, mind you, I just put walking with his beautiful girlfriend. I didn't prompt for something specific, but I think if you do that, like in this example here, I just put beautiful Spanish woman. I didn't generate any more, but you see, she kind of follows behind him, but she does look different in terms of her facial features. I just posted a video of a fun little micro movie, and I used the subject reference feature for this character you see on the screen to keep his face consistent. And for the couple, I used the image to video live model, and I just generated that image using Flux, and it came out pretty well, I would say. Now, there are differences in terms of the color correction, and I didn't really do a, precise edit on it, but I was pretty happy of the results. When you combine both features, you can get some really interesting results. Now, I've only begun to scratch the surface on how we can utilize this, but it got me thinking that what if we extracted the frames of the video, just like here? Here's a different scene where I extracted the video using DaVinci Resolve. It's super easy to do. You just import it and export it as a JPEG or TIFF. And you can use these frames and bring them into like Comfy UI, Invoke Air, whatever, and you should be able to further manipulate the consistency. So it's got me thinking we might be able to do more with these features in terms of consistency, but I'm just scratching the surface here, and I'm going to play around more with it. And if I come up with something that's easy to do and it works fairly well, I'll make sure to let you guys know. As always, my friends, if you got some value out of this video, make sure to hit that like button. And until that next video, I'll see you when I see you.